And the Comptroller General, Nigeria Customs Service, says the service has so far sacked more than 2,000 officers for various acts of gross misconduct and will continue working to strengthen border security and stem the tide of banditry as well as smuggling activities around Nigerian borders. The Comptroller General of the service disclosed this at the 54th session of the State House media briefing at the Presidential Villa Abuja. State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports. We'll return with business news.
The Comptroller General of one of Nigeria's premier revenue generating agency is here to talk about the successes and troubles of the Nigeria Customs Service. He admits that corruption has also been one of the biggest hindrances to shoring up revenue for the country, but says under his watch, the Nigerian Customs have equally identified and dismissed more than 2,000 officers implicated in cases of graft and other related offences.
Integrity is one of our biggest concerns in what we do. And because the custom operation gives so much discretion to officers, and therefore, just like bankers, we are also under the same pressure and monitoring to ensure that our officers are optimal in terms of integrity.
The Comptroller General says the Customs Service will ensure increased partnership with both military and paramilitary agencies to protect the borders and block leakages by ensuring that there are electronic scanners to check imports into the country.
We unbundling of commands units and creation of new commands to achieve strategic objectives, e.g., example, non-intrusive inspection area, that is the scanners. We need to have specialized people to manage the scanners. We also look at the marine.
The Nigeria Customs, saddled with the responsibility of revenue generation and tackling smuggling, has already generated 2.1 trillion naira this year, but still hopes to achieve its target of 3 trillion naira for the year. Colin Ali says restructuring, reforms and improved revenue generation are key factors responsible for the impressive performance of the Customs Service.
So the first thing to do is to reduce that time frame in order to make sure that an importer will not incur additional costs because he wants to clear his goods.
The Customs Service also looks forward to the inauguration of their newly constructed corporate headquarters by President Muhammadu Buhari later this year. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
In Lagos, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has again emphasized the need for Nigerians to vote for APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu in next year's election. The governor spoke at the closing ceremony of the 2022 National Women's Conference in Lagos. Senior correspondent Adedojo Salamadini reports.
It's day 3 and the final day of the 22nd National Women's Conference organized by Council. With the 3-day exercise, these women have engaged in intellectual and emotional trainings under the major theme of the year, Spring Forth, Stand Out. The Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials is a community-based gender organization established primarily to complement efforts of government officials in bringing about development and improving the welfare of Lagosians in terms of health, education, poverty alleviation, and other matters that concerns women, children, and the elderly. Different facilitators have lectured on subtopics, including smart investment, overcoming adversity with confidence, parenting, workable genotype, newborn screening, insecurity, women in politics, among others. All of these formed the body of the communique.
Women should come out, gather together, and make sure our votes count. We are equal to the task, and we should be carried along.
For the chairman of council, women should participate in curbing the security challenges bedeviling the country.
To ensure that this country is safe, to ensure that poverty is eradicated. It is only when poverty is eradicated, it's only when there is security in the country that people want to come to Nigeria to come and invest. Let's still work on this security issue from the women's perspective.
Let's give him the woman.
Lagos State Governor, represented by his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, used the occasion to tell women and all Nigerians that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu brain is what Nigeria needs now.
If we want a nation that our own children, our grandchildren will be happier than us, it is time to go and vote for a man who has done it before. People forget that in 1999, this state was bankrupt. A lot has happened, and the foundation was led by that man, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
A talk show host and media executive, Funmi Inyoda, and former Lagos First Lady, Abimbola Jakonde, bagged Appreciation Award for Friends of Council. Former national women leader of the All Progressives Congress, the late Kemi Nelson, also bagged same award posthumously for contributions to council over the years. Adedoja Salamadini, TVC News, Lagos.
Thousands of university students in Delta State have staged a solidarity walk to drum support for the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and his vice presidential candidate Ifeanyi Okowa in Warri. The students say the party has robust plans for students and Nigerians. Ikena Amechi reports.
Clad in yellow T-shirts, these university students took time off studies from the state universities who were not among the strike to show their support for Atiku Okowa ticket.
With looking at all the presidential candidates, we saw that it is Atiku that have the mindset to reorganize Nigeria. That is why he came out with the agenda of rescue, reset, and rebuild. So that is the reason why Delta State students have decided to support Atiku because of our own father, the person of a Kweme of the universe, His Excellency Dr. Ato Ifeanyi Okowa.
As students, as youths, we feel they will carry us along, and it's obvious that they have the interest of youth, especially at heart. Okowa has been creating jobs for youth.
Chanting solidarity songs and dancing, the students moved from Efrun roundabout to Japa Junction and Route NRA Junction, their termination point as they want the people of Efrun and Warri to vote for Atiku Okowa and Sheriff Oboro Warri come next year's election as they possess the right leadership qualities.
The most three presidential aspirants we've seen in the past, they have led this country in their various states, and what they have in stock for us, their antecedents and track record, that of Atiku Abubakar is eminent to Nigerian students. Why here is the state, why we need to root out our support for Right Honorable Sheriff Oboro is for continuity. Governance is continuity.
What you are seeing here is a testament that the Delta State students are solidly articulated and sherified. They articulate for the PDP candidate, His Excellency, the former Vice President of this country, Atiku Abubakar, and they're also saying that in this state, they are sherified.
The reason why I would want us to vote for Sheriff is because I believe Sheriff is the only person as it stands who would follow the precedents of Okowa. While he was Speaker, he has this scholarship program for students. He's an accessible person. He's a person whom you can meet at any given time.
Clearly, next year's election will be decided majorly by young people who make a large portion of the voting populace, according to data from the Independent National Electoral Commission, which makes this support vital for the opposition party. Ikena Amechi, TVC News, Warri.